to ask ourselves, what do we want to say? What's the message that we want to relay to the world? You know, that's a big question to ask and to answer. You know, we really leant inwards about our own identity, how we operate as sisters, delving into our Filipino heritage and what it's like to be a first Australian Filipino here living in Sydney. Creating art and, you know, art making or creating is such a personal pursuit and such a solitude pursuit and very, you know, introspective. So I think when people connect with it and actually resonate with what your message is and even probably see further than what you've ever seen before, that's really enlightening. I don't think many siblings will ever dare to go down this adventure of pairing up with your sibling, let alone sharing a business, and let alone being two separate artists that come together to be a creative duo. That just shows how close we are energetically and how we were brought up together.
I think for us creatively, we definitely are exploring different mediums and materials that we don't traditionally use in, you know, the traditional hand loom weaving. But I think most of all, our aesthetic has been more risky. It's been more larger in scale and explored more of the life experiences that we've experienced together, both the beauty as well as the hard times that we've learned to overcome or make sense of it through our art.
Yeah. We found something that we both loved and that enthusiasm propelled us to take the next leap.
It's a creative release, but for me, the noise of the day just dissipates and I'm able to be mindful. I'm able to be clear with my thoughts, but also be present in the moment, which in this day and age, being a new mum is really rare. So I think for me, weaving has given me solace in that way.
The passage was actually created in one of the most pivotal moments of our relationship as sisters. A bit of a hypocrisy behind the name Crossing Threads. Like, we can get so close to each other and be cohesive and be so aligned, but at the same time we can clash and get tangled. And so with the announcement of Cassie's pregnancy, I guess it was the first time that there was something actually bigger than Crossing Threads. Crossing Threads was our baby from the ground up. We built it over a course of 9 years, and with her news, it was almost as like, hey, there's something more important than our art making. So the passage is a two-piece sculpture, primarily they're circular in form, and they're conjoined together by this, I would say an umbilical cord, but this link.
It represents the womb, but it also represents a return to self, and notions of totality, so as a complete whole.
Even though we created this a few years ago when Kass gave birth, it is now kind of resurged again and come about because now I'm pregnant.
I think the significance and the meaning has been even more powerful now, today.
So each of us actually wove multiple panels on a sari loom, which is a Japanese loom, and the philosophy of sari is celebrating the imperfectness of life and also the imperfectness of handmade. And you actually have to weave very intuitively and like follow the flow and just go with it. And we saw that as a, you know, really deep significance to what we were going through at this point of time, because now our roles as sisters are changing. We're becoming mums, aunt, and stepping into this new phase of life.
We hope that all the layers and all the complexity that we tried to weave into the artwork is shown, and that this bond between us as sisters, woman and child, and also like the transformative journey of birth itself. Like, I've physically gone through it and she was there with me, and I'm going to be there for her when she does it. So hopefully we can actually, you know, communicate that, because everyone else in the world, I hope, can resonate with that too.
The reason why I weave or create or make art is to really connect back to myself, because I feel like most of the stuff we do is so productive and output driven that there's so much external energy being pushed out into the world. So then when I create, it's actually filling up myself again and filling up this cup and feeling more grounded and connected to who I am.
but also I think a space for our kids to see us doing it and to live by example. And I think that's really important because with motherhood, you kind of lose your identity because you're so engrossed with caring for your baby. I think it's important to always find yourself, and through weaving, I think that's a good avenue or channel for me to express anything that I'm carrying, but also to kind of see that manifest onto the loom. For us, it's always been about sustainability of our relationship as sisters, as artists, but also in terms of our art. We don't want to burn out, and I think if we're able to fill our cup in other capacities and come to the loom regenerated and feeling good, I think that shows through our work.
Yeah, definitely.
We were looking at all of our artworks, and we found that although at each side of the process we have an initial intention of what the artwork is about, but we find towards the end of the piece, collaborating with our clients, they actually reveal to us something spontaneous, like some deeper meaning or resonance that we didn't expect. When people see a Crossing Threads piece, they know that it is us. By definition, it's an extension of who we are. I think where we're standing, we have a deeper sense of wisdom, a deeper sense of who we are, and not necessarily sacrificing, what's trending on the market for us to sell, but it's mainly for what makes us happy and what gives us, like what fills up our cup.
But I know you got my back, and I think that's one thing we've both learned, that we have each other's back throughout both life, both business, both art, both decision making. We'll always be there for each other.
Hopefully we can create new work that's gonna emanate what we're going through.